Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Kari here, and wanting to reach out to you and offer you some support. I don't know about you guys, but it's been intense for me around here and intense for a lot of the clients that I'm working with. And, it's kind of been intense for everybody that I know. So if you're struggling right now, I want you to hear and know that you're not alone. Everything about our world is shifting right now, and it may shift back, but it may not. And so it's a really important time because our nervous systems are having to adapt to a new reality that they've never really had to experience before here, at least in America, where our future is uncertain, our our democracy is even uncertain. Our health is uncertain. Our jobs are uncertain. There's so much uncertainty, and nervous systems don't really love uncertainty. I got to tell you, they like to groove in to what is called a homeostatic state. It likes to groove into where it can kind of easily control things. And when things are kind of going crazy around us, our nervous systems are having to adjust, and that in and of itself is stress, right? So if you're having difficulty sleeping, if you're experiencing some anxiety or experiencing some depression, just take a deep breath and know you're not alone. And don't feel like there's something wrong with you because you're having this experience. Apparently, I don't really follow astrology, but apparently Mars is in retrograde for the next 90 days, which makes things more intense, more anger, more frustration. Um, so yeah, it just is a time. So when things get intense like this, there's something that we can do and we need to do to help our body reset itself to a new level of homeostasis and to maintain our inner cool. It's like the storm that whirls around us, yeah? We want to find the eye of the storm. And the way that we do that is through practices. Look, I have a lot of friends who are teachers, big yoga instructors, out in the community. We have, coaches. The way that they keep themselves together so that they can show up is their practices. We got to really, really, really root in your practices. So I wanted to make sure that you had some practices that you can rely on. It's super important right now. Self-care is more important now than ever. This is not the time to drop back into our old self-soothing habits that are actually harmful to us, like, over drinking or overeating sugar or overeating in general or watching too much TV. They're all coping mechanisms that are, not, they don't ultimately bring us what we're looking for. Yeah. So today, this is going to be a series. We're going to talk about meditation. We're going to talk about feeding ourselves during these times. Again, I know I just did a whole diet series, but I'm going to talk specifically about this, with this stressful time. We're going to talk about meditation and the different kinds of meditation and what kind of meditation might be best for you at this time. And we'll talk again about movement in this time and why it's so important. And, I might come up with something else. I don't know yet. So we'll see. But today I want to talk about that hook. So, when that neurochemistry kicks in and we lose our ability to hold neutral. I think you get what I'm talking about. When the anger surges or the frustration or the sadness or the feeling of aloneness or the hurt feelings, and we're hooked. We aren't able to see anything other than that. That is a moment when our outdated survival programming, the programming that our body laid down throughout our childhood in order to navigate its environment and in order to learn to survive, gets activated. I call it outdated survival programming because a lot of it isn't helpful for us anymore. We have other tools. But when that neurochemistry kicks up, we lose our ability to, our frontal neocortex, our wisdom brain goes offline. And we are now just at the effect of those chemicals. The good news is those chemicals, if we do not loop in with our thoughts and our stories and recreate the release of those chemicals last about 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. So all we need to do to get us out of that surge of neurochemistry is to distract our brain for 2 minutes. So one of the techniques that I love, you may be familiar with it, is tapping. Now, I don't do the whole sophisticated tapping technique. I use neuroemotional technique, as you know, to navigate sort of the bigger issues that are coming up in myself and others' lives. However, I use tapping at an acute moment to distract my brain and let that neurochemistry um, come to completion, right? So what I'll do is I'll tap on the top of my head, and whatever I'm working with, I'm okay even though I'm sad. I'm okay even though I'm scared. I'm okay even though I'm angry. I'm okay even though I'm sad. I'm okay. And I just keep tapping. You can do these guys. Top of the head is one. Top of the lip. I like the chest. Those are kind of my favorites. And I just tap whatever. I'm okay with whatever I'm working with until that neurochemistry starts to come to fruition. Now, how do you know that? You know it because I should said fruition, not fruition, completion, until it starts to come to completion. Now, how do I know when it's coming to completion? It's coming to completion as I start to feel a little better. So I've calmed myself down enough where I'm not in the throes of the chemistry. This is when I want to engage my frontal neocortex, and I do that by getting curious. I get curious about this aspect of myself because this aspect isn't me, it's just a part of myself. It's an old program. So I want to tease it out from my identity of who I am, right? And I get curious about it and I start saying, hey, what's up? I start talking to it like it's a child, because usually the program, the information was programmed when we were children, so it has a very childlike mentality. So I start talking to it like it's a child, and I get curious. Hey, how you doing? And it might seem a little kooky, but it's really not. Frontal neocortex is now starting to engage with that limbic brain by applying curiosity. And I say, what's up? What are you feeling? And I just ask questions. And I try to get a sense of how old this part of me is. And then I might even get a sense of, when this program got laid down. Very often for me, I've been doing this for a while, it'll just show up. I'll be like, oh my gosh, 8 years old, when X, Y, and Z happened, this is what's getting triggered right now. Yeah? And then once I have a sense of it, once I have a sense of this energy separate from myself, I'm able to take my wise person, my caring and loving person, and apply acceptance and love. Acceptance and love for the fact that I have a part of my nervous system that does this, and acceptance and love for the fact that it's scared or it's sad or it's angry. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm saying you can rule my life. Actually, what we're looking to do is create new neural pathways in our brain so that we no longer are over ridden by these things and they no longer control our lives. Yeah, so one of the things with outdoor studios is you get the wind and it gets in my face. So anyway, so then we go from curiosity to acceptance and compassion for the fact that we have this part of ourselves. And if you look at it like a child, compassion becomes really easy, because imagine a little kid who's feeling that way. You wouldn't yell at it. You wouldn't get mad at it. You wouldn't scold it like we often do. We wouldn't shame it. We would look at it and be like, oh, sweetie, come over here. Sit down in my lap. Let me love on you. I get that you feel this way. The one thing you don't want to do is minimize it. So it's okay that you feel this way. I totally get it. You don't want to say, oh, you don't need to feel this way. You've just made that neurochemistry wrong. And a lot of those triggers are activated because of times in our life when we didn't feel good enough, didn't feel lovable, felt wrong in some way, shape, or form. And now we've actually become that often parental figure or sibling or teacher in our own mind. And we shame and we make wrong ourselves when we get into argument with these parts of ourselves and we try to push them away. Yeah. So that is what I use when I'm really in that hook. And look, we all get hooked. It's part of our human design to have these programs to help keep us safe during stressful times. Yeah. It's just that we don't always they're not always optimal anymore. So as we do this linking up of the frontal neocortex and the limbic brain, we start to create a new neural pathway that gives the brain a new option. When we experience things from our past, we now can have a new way of dealing with it if we really stay with it and continue to work with that energy when it comes up. Yeah, so it's not hopeless. It's not like for the rest of your life you have to be triggered by this, but there are some things that stick around. It's just you'll learn the tools to help you, come in with that frontal brain and really love and support yourself during that time, instead of becoming the person that is now the aggressor or the shamer or the belittler. Does that make sense? I remember hearing a story once that Nisargadatta said. Nisargadatta is a famous Indian wise man, and he said that everybody gets hooked. It's just how long does it Velcro to them? And those people that are really developed in their spiritual practice, or in an awakened state, the hook is so fast, it Velcros so little that the average person doesn't notice that it happens. Yeah, so it's human. And we are humans, and we're here having a very human experience at the moment in time. So I hope you find this helpful. Please watch for the next video. It's going to be on meditation. I'm going to talk about different kinds of meditations that you might use. It is pivotal right now. It is how we find that eye of the storm where it is calm. Yeah, we don't want to be out whirling around with the lawn chairs. We want to be in that calm space and return to it as soon as we can. I am sending you so much love. Please know that I am here. If you get hooked, you can't get yourself out. I am here. If you just want to take yourself to the next level, I'm here. If you're having some health stuff, I'm here. So please know that I am here, and I am sending you so much love and support.